All right, you guys, welcome to another episode of Word on the Street. We have Tanea and Marcus, and today we're going to talk about relationships again, but with a little spin. So, um, Tanea here is our lovely HS warrior. So, and like for a lot of people, dating is very hard. When did you feel like you needed to tell Marcus, or did you ever feel like you needed to tell him about your HS?
Um, I think I started feeling the need to tell him when I felt the desire to be intimate. I felt like I could open up to him more, and that he was willing to accept me for who I was already. So maybe about three-ish dates in, um, I think that's when I considered telling him, and I think I actually rehearsed how I was gonna tell him too, because I don't know what he would think. I think like with past partners, I've just tried to hide it before, or even if I've tried to express it, they kind of just ignored when I was on a flare up. But when it came to Marcus, he was really receptive to when I came forward about it. I think we did it through text because the rehearsal didn't go as well as I thought it was gonna go. But then you start typing it out and I'm like, no, that's not right. Like I don't want to make it sound like that. It's not anything gross or anything. Like it's just me, right?
Yeah.
So I think I ended up just expressing myself through one of those voice messages, and I sent it, and he sent the most beautiful words back to me, just accepting me for who I was and really even eager to learn more about me and where I was coming from. So I really,
Oh,
I am still in awe that I found somebody like this.
where'd you get him? Like, were you what the build a man? Like, did he come programmed like this?
No, I got the factory. He was hiding out in Texas, yo.
Texas is that's where we need to be. We need to be in Texas, y'all. I'm in Florida. I'm in the wrong place. Okay. So like, I'm sure like what he said doesn't matter. Like, what did it make you feel? Like, just the words that he sent back to you.
I think I finally felt seen. I felt visible. I felt like there was a load just lifted off my shoulders because it's like, okay, I can finally be myself around this person because there's there's times where I've tried to be comfortable around family and they've seen me flare or just um, not look as presentable as they think a woman should be. But because of my HS, I have to, make accommodation for that. And they weren't so welcoming of that. So to hear what Marcus had to say, I just felt like I could finally be myself and be the person I wanted to be. I didn't have to hide anymore.
I love that. I feel like we have to hide. We feel like we have to hide so much of who we are. The last thing that you want to do is hide who you are from your partner, the person who's supposed to. This person's supposed to have my back, and I can't be myself with them. Then there's something wrong. Yeah. And I guess Marcus, from like your point of view, did you ever? Because I always feel like I don't want to be a burden to anybody, right? And you feel like I feel like sometimes with my HS, like I was gonna be a burden, like I can't do this or I don't want to do that, or now I'm tired, I'm fatigued, like I don't want to weigh anybody else down and be that Debbie Downer in the relationship. Like, have you ever felt like, and maybe it's just a mental thing that we have that we're a Debbie Downer. It's probably not something that our partners feel, but like, have you ever felt like, what?
No, I have never felt like that before because for me, being in, just different previous relationships before, HS is one thing that, individuals, of course, have to deal with. Mm-hmm. But there's so many other things out there that people come with in relationships, different depths and levels, whether that be mental abuse or being in abusive relationships prior, speaking to women or, being sexually abused and different things like that. That's a heavy weight that goes on somebody's shoulders that they always have to present in a relationship at a certain point. Otherwise, there'll be friction there. So being presented with situations as such in, prior situations and relationships, it just kind of prepared me. And I'm always open when I think, I don't really, put people in a box or judge people. I try to see people clearly for who they are so they can be vulnerable because that's the way I want to come off to people as well too when I'm speaking about myself or sharing, intimate things about my own self. I just want to be in a vulnerable space. So it's never really been or come off as a burden to me because, mentally prepared, just to deal with whatever may come my way. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the individual that you're in a relationship with or whoever your partner is, because you want to be receptive to let them know, like, I'm here for you regardless.
I love that because and I think a lot of times we don't think about that as words. Like everybody's coming with some type of baggage. Like you got, kids from an ex. You've been divorced and you've been abandoned. Like we have some type of trauma or past hurt or something that we're dealing with that we're coming into a relationship with. And I feel like we a lot of times, and I ain't gonna put this on all warriors. Maybe I just hyper focus, right? Like, oh my goodness, this is gonna be the thing. Like,
Right.
there's I'm coming with other baggage other than that. But that's the focus. Like that's gonna be the thing, that straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah.
When it comes to the relationship. And like I've told some folks, word on the street, that it wasn't until I went to an event a couple years ago with some other warriors, and I saw that there was like a couple people there that had HS and they were married, and I was like, they got whole husbands? Like they got married? That's possible?
Right.
Like people doesn't get married? And I just for me, like, because up until that point, I was what 28 something when I went to do that. I'd never been in a relationship before that, right? Like I went on dates, but like in my mind, like there's I play everything like how this is gonna work out, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut ties before you can hurt me.
Exactly.
And then I see like, wait, these people are in relationships and they have kids, they're married, they're happy, and their spouse accepts it. I'm like, so it is possible. It's just I'm placing like limitations on myself.
Yeah.
Before you met Marcus, did you ever feel like you were putting limitations on yourself in like with relationships, or when you like first started dating, like I don't know if I can do this or if I should do this?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like even when I was single and I was on dating apps, I would get interested in somebody and then I would flake before the date and just say, like, even if I didn't have a flare, I'd be like, oh, I can't come, I got a flare. It's because I just wasn't really ready to. I guess I hadn't really accepted myself. I think that's the first thing you got to do: accept yourself, so that you can put yourself forward. And when you present yourself to a person, they're either gonna take you as you are, or you can tell them deuces.
Yeah, I love it. Like, listen, another wonderful warrior, Joey. So I was talking with him, and same thing. Like, either you're gonna accept me, and that's great, or basically kick rocks. Like make space for the right person.
Yes.
Who is gonna come in and accept me. And I think that's the mentality that like even outside of the HS community that we need to have in like relationships. People are either gonna accept you or not. I'm not gonna bend over backwards to become something that I'm not in order to keep you.
Yeah.
Like what the song say? If they don't want to be kept, don't keep them.
Yeah.
What she say? Something like that.
You don't have to appease anybody. You are who you are.
Yes.
And they just have to be receptive enough to understand your situation. It's just about comprehension and compassion.
And how do you help with or do you help like with like flare care, or like when she's going through it? Are you getting ice packs? How does this work?
Yes. I do a little bit of everything. My going name right now is Dr. Marcus, or Dr. Wells.
Dr. Wells.
Dr. Wells, I love it.
And she'll call me and she'll be like, hey, I need you in here to do X, Y, Z, or this and that. And it's just steps to being like prepared for a situation, but it didn't always start like that because I had to educate myself and learn about flare-ups and what's actually going on and what's sensitive and what hurts, or just all these different things. But you put it all together and then you can start coming up with an action plan for how you want to handle certain situations when they arise. And I've been on Amazon at work, ordering ice packs and finding ones that strap, and Velcro, across the abdomen and different things like that. Because, I believe it was like sometime last year, she went through a really bad flare-up. And that was the first one I got to really like fully see, like full circle, and see how it, she responds to it. And I was like, this is crazy. Like, this is terrible. You know, barely being able to sleep and having to sleep in one position, you know, and all these things. So that really prompted me to see what I can do, whether it was a small little thing or a larger thing. And, you know, that's what prompted me to go out and be on Amazon, looking up for different ice packs and, you know, researching inflammatory diets and different things like that, because I do like to cook. So I wanted to see how we could, you know, reduce some things out of the diet, but add in the things that we need. So it's a challenge. And then, you know, my baby, she has some Muslim, you know, ties in the family. So, you know, there's another element and dynamic to eating. You know, so with that, you pile all that together, and we really have to come up with a solid.
Get creative.
Yeah,
Get
super creative.
Yeah, so there's complexities to it, but I think that's also what intrigues me about it and makes me want to know more about it, because, you know, thinking down the road to the future, you know, I brought up this question earlier with some individuals about how do you feel about having children at some point in one day and how that will affect them. And just thinking about that, I want to be well prepared once that bridge is crossed, that we have, you know, as many boxes as we could check, you know, checked off before we go down that road. So we're just prepared. I'm big on preparation.
Hey, listen, preparation is key.
Big.
I love that. And it's crazy. I got a comment which was like off the wall, right? People say crazy things and on social media. And the guy, I was on there with my niece, right? Which you just looking at it as people think she was my daughter. And he was like, why would you have a child if you knew that she could have this condition? Like, why would you have children? And there was, you know, of course, back and forth in the comments of people like, how dare you ask that? But then there was also people like, yeah, like I have HS, I would not have children because I may pass it on because of genetics. And so, like, talking about the family dynamic of having children, is that something that you worry about, or are you just like, listen, like, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I definitely do worry about it sometimes, but I try not to go down that hole.
Yeah.
Because it can be a lot to dig yourself out of there. But I think the main thing is once you get over accepting yourself, you kind of light this fuel inside where you're trying to learn more information about what's going on and how it's affecting your body and how you can influence your body and how you can help your body fight what's going on. So I just think with him by my side for sure. When I have my bad moments, he's there to support me and advocate for me. I don't really think I have a lot to worry about as I'm putting my medical dream team together. I think there's a lot of support on my side, and we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
No, I love that. And I think that's what's key, right? The important thing is having a partner who's willing to go in the battle with you, right? He's willing to suit up, and whatever comes, you guys are going to handle it together.
Yeah, that's the key thing, the togetherness and moving as one. And that's where a lot of people fall off. Just in general speaking, you know, it's a lot of individuality, but it's better to move as one. It makes it so much easier.
I love that. Oh my goodness, you guys, they done gave me hope. I mean, I got a boyfriend now, and you know, well, I'm waiting for a real ring. But I love this and the black love, black love.
Gotta have it.
All right, well, thank you guys. This was Word on the Street.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you guys.